Yeah, this is what I expected. So previously when we started the test, sort of total 15 connections. The first few connections went really well. So if you see the response body, it was able to send the response to us back. But then if you see, this is what it actually happens. So it cannot get a connection, and there is a pool error, which is a timeout which is waiting for the idle object. So this is exactly what we get when we get the connection pool error. Okay, and the reason, as I told you, I've got 15 threads. So for example, if I just imagine when you're increasing the load, right? But when you do not have the enough number of connections, so this exactly is what happened. And again, we can also see the response time. See, we've got already like 3 seconds because it is getting processed, right? So we get to see the response times are higher, and if you go to the view results tree, we get more errors. And let me tell you the other way. If I have 15 threads, and let me optimize the connections to 10, okay, at a time. And if I run it again, two things you can see. One is the response times will not be higher because this is the same thing, which is like 3 seconds. On top of that, we get the response times. And when you come to the view results tree, see all the connections has got successfully connected and got the response back. So the logic is very simple. We need to have optimized number. So I won't even say more number or correct number because there's no correct number. When you're increasing the number of user load, automatically the connections has to be also higher. So it is always mandatory to check what is the number of connections because most of us when we collect the test plan, we never even bother about this, right? We just collect the load and everything, but we never understand like what is the connection pool size in the databases. Because see, we will do everything perfectly fine, everything was running good, and the load that we send is always lesser compared to production, and the connection pool settings also will be working completely fine. But what happens is when we are sending this to production, we never know the number of connections. See, just imagine you are having like 10 connections and you're testing this with 15 users, right? You'll be having the same set of either 10 connections there in the production, or we never even know if it is a very newly built application. They will be sending or they'll be setting up only the default connections, which means it could be 5 or it could be 10 or even lesser or more. But just imagine if you're sending more number of users. For example, here in this case, if I'm sending like 50 users at a time, and if I send this, I think mostly 50 users will be handled, can be handled by 10 connections. But again, we still have this 3 seconds of hold time. So that is the one factor that will see that could create. See, for example, the very first few numbers they have got completely running fine. But at the later point of time, because of these connections are waiting for a long time, I get this timeout issue, and then I was able to observe this error. So the same scenario would happen in the production as well, or when we are doing the testing. So the thing is, two factors here. One is the load, and the other one is the number of connections. Okay. So any doubts on this? If we move on to the next topic.
The database, okay. Just go to the JDBC configuration, connection
Yeah.
configuration. Yeah, here, okay, max 10 number of configurations, which means
Mhm.
we are setting the limit and the database should allow only max connection is 10.
And we are opening 10 connections,
10
10 rows
connections
like that.
only.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yep, okay.
Right.
Since the 10 connections might be the deciding factor is maybe based on the like the server, all those things, the 10 connection, like maybe you are defining something like that, we need to understand. Whatever they have defined part of that max connection, like something we want to
Mhm.
understand in that manner. So within 10 connection, how we are like our application, how we are sending the request and all those things, like opening the connection, like from the database connection pool, and like sending the request and processing all those things we need to identify. Is it like that, Vasan?
Okay, let me ask you like this way. So we are facing some errors, right? So
Hmm.
do you think it is a database error or not?
Uh, okay, there. Right now, we faced something, right? That one you are referring.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
Yeah.
an
Okay.
error which
Okay.
we
Okay.
got here.
That
Yeah. So do you think this is a
error.
database error or not?
No, I think that it is not a database error.
Exactly, you're right. So this is not a database error
Mm,
because, like you mentioned rightly, the database will never even see that there are these many requests.
mm,
Because what happens is these requests, right, which we are sending, they will uh, wait and then they will die before in the connection line itself. See, for example, I think uh, in a lot of government schemes, people are keep on waiting in the queue. So before they even enter and get the benefits, they get stampede and then they get fainted and then they fell down, right? Exactly the same thing.
mm, mm.
So they die. I mean, the connections die before waiting in the line for the connection.
Okay.
That is what happens. So before they even enter the databases, but what we'll say that it's a database issue or
Mm,
it's a database error, but it is actually not, right? Because it doesn't even enter the database. The database doesn't even know that somebody is waiting there behind the current request.
maybe that
So
request got
actually,
expired or something like that, is it?
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
Before it
okay.
even reaches the databases,
Mm,
it gets expired. It dies
okay. Okay.
for the other one to get freed. So because the previous one is never freed, so this automatically gets died. And again, this has nothing to do with the database being slow. So most of the time, what we infer is we say that the database is slow. That's why my request is failed, right?
Mm.
That's what we normally believe.
Yeah, it's correct.
Yeah, but what happened is the database could be sitting idle,
Mm,
and we would get this exact failure from the undersizing pool connections.
mm,
Because see, just imagine you are having a very big restaurant, but you have only three doors,
mm,
and only three people can come in at a time. So what we think is, since there are only three doors and since only three people are allowed, we think the restaurant is full and it is busy. But it is not like that. They have a lot of space inside. But the problem is we are not allowed to enter there, or we have only less number of doors to be entered.
mm,
So this is purely an app tier configuration mistake,
mm,
right? And it's one of the very common causes of any random timeout errors that we see during load test.
mm.
Right. So what we infer is we think, okay, this is a database error and database is slow, so we blame everything on databases. So that is why I just wanted to bring this here because this is not a database issue. This is a application tier configuration mistake.
Mhm. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. As you mentioned, right, Sant, the database you are taking, for example, as in the same example, I'll take the
Mm-hmm.
restaurant, right. So there are three doors available, so we are allowing. Okay. So inside the restaurant, they can able to handle maybe until maybe like 15 or 20, then can able to handle. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
which means we need to find out how much can able to handle inside it. So according to that, we need to open the connection in the database, like the database connection pool. Is it something like that?
Yeah.
Ah.
See, the thing is, if the hotel is bigger, then
Mm,
you can have more number of doors and allow more number of people.
mm, mm.
If already the hotel is less and it has only less number of capacity inside, then automatically based on that you have to reduce the numbers as well.
Okay. Okay. So to decide this
And
one, we need to understand like how the database
the
configuration, where
load,
it is done. So all those things we
yeah,
need to understand.
yeah, you have to understand the load also.
Mm,
See, that's what I was telling you previously. Like we should not open more number of doors, and we should not keep it less number of doors as well. We have to optimize it properly, and it has to increase. See, what we think is. During the very first release, when everything goes perfectly fine, we set that number and we never even bother about that in the later configurations. And you know what? The load increases, right? The volume increases.
mm.
More number of customers comes in. But are we really optimizing it in the later point of time?
Okay. Got it.
We never even
We
bother
never.
about that.
Yeah.
Actually, it has
Correct.
to be random. It has to be periodically assessed. It has to be periodically increased if more number of users are coming in.
Okay. Okay.
So that has to be part of the continuous improvement plan. And we have to tell them that, see, with this many number of users, we are able to achieve it with this connections, a number of connections. And once the time it keeps on increasing, the user load is increasing, automatically we have to increase it.
Mm, mm.
If it doesn't happen, Then at later point of releases, then we'll get this connection pool issue.
Yep. Okay. And here it is failed, right? So we need
Hmm.
to understand something like it is the thread got the thread life cycle was over because of that. Like we got a bad response. Maybe it is failed. Is it something like that?
Yeah, yeah, see, same
Oh.
thing. As I told you, the request itself has died already.
Mm.
So it won't go further. It will just fail, and then we get that error. See, it is telling us, see, you're sending me a request, but I'm really sorry, I can't, I don't even know what that request is because it's already dead, waiting for a long time.
Oh, okay. That thread itself dies.
That request,
That request, yes.
not the thread.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Got it. Okay. Got it. Okay.
Mm. So that is about this. I mean, most of the times, I think you must have been seeing this connection pool issue.
Yeah.
So exactly the same thing happens. Yes, Subhashini.
Actually, you're referring one example, right? In the restaurant, there is a capacity, but only three seats. I mean, three seats are available. I mean,
Doors,
for the
three doors,
connection,
three doors.
three doors are available.
Hmm,
So,
hmm.
this situation, the capacity and the entry, I mean, the seats, these are different, or how we can, I mean, understood.
Okay,
I,
let me tell you this way. So if it is a new restaurant, okay, in the initial days, how many people will come in? Less number of
only
people
less,
will come in.
yeah, less, yes.
Exactly. So what happens is, once the the restaurant is getting famous, and once everybody likes the taste, and more number of people wanted to come there, but if you still have the same number of doors, just three doors, and 100 people are waiting outside, and you are allowing only three people at a moment at a time, and they have to wait a few seconds in the front door to tell them that I need this many number of seats, I have to order this. So what happens is the people who are waiting behind, they'll get impatient, and they'll decide, okay, let me go back. But instead, if you are having more number of doors, like 10 connections, 10 doors, so at a time you can process 10 people, so the queue will not wait for a long time. Before they even get impatient, automatically you can allow more number of people. But just imagine if you're having only three people, three doors. So for the 30th people has to wait like at least 10 to 30 seconds. But instead, if you have like 10 doors, the 30th person has to wait for just 9 seconds, or like, I mean, 3 seconds each, then it will be like 6 seconds, something like that. So the waiting time will be lesser. That's what I'm saying. And again, not all the requests will come at the same time, right? They'll be coming periodically. See, for example, here, since I wanted to break this, I was keeping the ramp up period like this. Just imagine if I'm keeping it like 50 seconds, right? 50 threads, 50 seconds, which means I'm sending one at a second. We won't be able to see that issue. See, I'll just show you this one here. That is what we normally do, right? See, the the way we ramp up. That's why I was telling about in the other session also, like how important the ramp up is. If you're sending, see, just imagine if when I was sending the same thing with all in just the same time, you would have seen the response time was higher, right? But I was using the same user load, but I'm sending one user at a time. So this makes the difference, right? See, you can see no, there are no errors now. Same errors, same thing, but the ramp up period also plays a major role. And the other thing is we are actually trying to stress the system. When more people are, see, what I'm trying to say is we tell them that okay, not all of them to come at the same time, but take 1 second of time and then come in. See, by the time when the 30th user comes in, already it will be 30 seconds. So the previous 10 requests or 30 requests will be already processed, right? So we are allowing them, the concurrency plays here a major role. So that is why your ramp up, your connection pool configuration, everything. See, if I just change it to 3 seconds, just three doors, right? Three connection pools, and if I do the same thing again, we would be getting that issue because we have less number of connections now, and the ramp up period, maybe the ramp up period could save us, but the thing is, the same thing would happen because see, when you're doing the load test without think time or without ramp up, the same connection pool issue will happen because that literally tells you that you have not got enough number of connections to allow the users to access, or you're making the people to stand there and wait till they get impatient, and then they delete their request, or they just revoke their request. So that is what happens. Yeah.
So even
So
when
yeah,
we
go ahead.
check the capacity of the database, if they are saying it is I mean they have set it increased it, still we get some issue means then we need to go and check for the connection. So how many?
Connection pool configuration, yeah, not just connection pool configuration, but the total number of load, even the ramp up as well. How much ramp up period did we use, and how did we reach the application?
Mostly when we give the less
Because we
ramp
will
up
load
with
test.
the more user, that time mainly we will get this issue when there is a
Yes.
connection pool. I mean less number
Yeah,
of
yeah, and not just enough number of connections also. So see, it's not just one factor. It's additional factors. I'm telling you. When you have multiple factors, when you're continuously doing those things, yes, obviously it would fail because see, it has its capacity, right? That in this case, we are not even reaching the databases now. At least at this part, we are still in the app tier part. That is why I told you it is not a database issue. It's a application tier configuration mistake. So this is configured in your app tier, in your application tier. So this has to be properly optimized before it even reaches the databases.
Okay. So while we are doing this, I mean, we are doing the React database testing, right? So here we can
Mm,
able to see this error in the response, like a connection
mm,
tool
mm,
error. So while we are doing applications, that time also, I mean, web application scripts, right? We will give
mm,
login or
mm,
some other screens.
mm,
So that time
mm,
also due to this error, because
mm,
everything is processing through database,
mm.
right? So if we get there also we could able to see the same error
You'll get
or
the same response. Same response you get, yes. You'll get connection pool expired or connection pool issue. Yes, you'll get something like that. So mostly the word like pool, connection pool, things like that, you can easily understand. Okay, this is something related to it.
okay.
And once you get that, after that, if you still wanted to get more evidence, then you can literally do this kind of direct hit on those requests. Like you can set up this using JMeter, and then you can try to connect to it directly because you know that right, you know what the query is, and you know the connection. You can get the database details from the user from the database team, and then you can directly run this, and you can confirm that because they'll ask you, right? Uh, how can you confirm that it's an application error? They could even tell you that it's an application side issue. So to confirm that, no, it's not a front end or it's not a back end issue. It's completely a application tier configuration issue. We can do this.
Okay, understood.
Yeah. Thank you.
And why
So
we are
here,
using
yeah.
a pool prepared statement as -1 we have given, right? Why we are given as
Mhm. That's a default one. You can just that.
okay, okay,
Yeah. The only thing that you have to look at is the connect number of connections. The maximum number of connections the pool will open at one time. That's the only thing.
okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Fine. And let us move on to the next one. So we'll move on to the missing. So we were talking about the indexes, right? So I'll just open that one. So here, same thing.